MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning, Scotty Ray and Candace on a Tuesday morning, and it is going to be absolutely beautiful today.
It looks like it's a good start out there. Yeah, it's a little cold this morning, though. Not as bad as the other mornings.
Yeah, we're sitting at 49 this morning is what we got. Now, what's going to happen this week? We're getting near Thanksgiving. Let's talk about what's going to happen Thanksgiving. We all got to plan Turkey Day.
Right.
This is what's happening this week. We've got sunshine, 73 for a high today. As we get into this now, this rain chance comes in on Thursday if you got something going on, but most likely will end by lunchtime. So not bad at all, but temperatures will start to ease down a little bit after Thursday there, 58 on Friday. Okay. So now let's look at what's going to be happening next week as we look at Turkey Day. There is a slight chance of rain on Turkey Day, high of 64. Now, again, I mentioned this morning at 6:30. That's most likely, we're a week out, 9 days. So don't hold your breath on that. The forecast changes from hour to hour in Mississippi and Alabama. So y'all hang close.
It does change. It'd be nice to have a pretty day on Thanksgiving.
Originally that's the way it was shaping up. We could go out and you could cornhole and all that good stuff.
Yeah. We had, like I said, we booked a campsite, but I think we just decided to do the meal at the house.
That's what I'm going to do.
You don't know, what the weather's going to do, and you don't want everybody stuck under a pavilion.
So, again, we'll get in later to Candace's famous dish that she's going to be cooking for Thanksgiving.
What that is, I don't know. I have not even bought my groceries yet.
A can of pork and beans, and we'll learn how to unscrew the thing.
I'm going to attempt a cheesecake, I think. My daughter makes a really good, she's really good with baking. Like cakes and cheesecakes and stuff like that. She makes I think it's a caramel apple pie cheesecake.
Can't say I've ever heard of that.
And then she made a snickerdoodle cheesecake.
Look, let's just get down to it. The only thing that you need for dessert at Thanksgiving is banana pudding. Let's just scratch it. Let's just make everybody happy.
That is good. Now, that's a classic.
Yeah, can't go wrong there. So how was your Monday afternoon? Was it good?
Yeah, I had to go to Madison to the doctor. And almost got lost because I feel like I was kind of riding in circles. But anyway, that's what I spent the day doing. Yeah, all day.
All day, every day.
Yes, riding. Yeah.
So yesterday was a busy day, and we've had lots of questions about this of what went on yesterday. I reported early yesterday afternoon, and I want to say this was, I'd have to go back and look at the time, 3:30, 4 o'clock, somewhere along in there, that shots were fired, that people were inboxing me going, okay, I just heard gunshots near Highland Park. You are absolutely right if you said you heard those. Now, the police report and what the general public is saying, the police actually didn't give us a number of rounds. I did ask them. They didn't give me a number. But people around the area said that could have been anywhere from 50 to 100 shots fired. Now, there were 4 to 5 different people involved. Possibly 4 cars fled the scene. Yeah. 1 car was stopped. And as we go to Facebook, this is the first one here that we got from the Meridian Police Department that was arrested. And I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce her name. Jehan, maybe? Am I close? Jehan?
I'm not sure.
Everybody can see.
Or Janae, I don't know.
Yeah, that is there. Well, this is the guns that were recovered from the car. 2 guns were recovered from there, and also narcotics is what we'll call that. So apparently whatever was going on in Highland Park was not legal.
Right.
And for whatever reason, they got into an argument with themselves and gunfire started. Now, how you fire 4 to 5 people and you shoot, let's just say it was 5 times and nobody gets hit is a miracle. But we're hearing that it was possibly more shots than that. But no one got shot. The police scrambled to get there, and they caught this young lady at a red light not far from there. No incident was involved. She stopped the car, and she was arrested there and taken on back to MPD.
I hope that they can get this under control because, there are people who live around that area.
Oh, yeah.
They've lived there for years, good people who've worked really hard for their homes and to pay for what they have, and they're having to deal with this mess.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm just so tired of it. And I know the people who live in town who have to deal with it all the time, they're probably beyond
Yeah.
sick of it, you know.
Anybody want to remind me why no one has birthday parties at Highland Park anymore?
And it's so sad because, I mean, my kids grew up going to birthday parties at the carousel.
Yeah.
And now it's just kind of, you just...
Well, I remember
Afraid
back
to
in the
do that.
90s, everything to do with Jimmy Rogers was held at Highland Park.
Well, art in the park.
Yeah.
That was just a great thing.
Now
that
we
went
call
on.
it Bullets in the Park.
We need to take our city back somehow or another.
have
I
mercy.
hope that we can. I hope that it can turn around.
That
But
was,
you're going to have to get the, you know, the bad ones off the street for sure.
we got one arrest. We'll see what happens with that. $50,000 bond is what's been put on that as we watch that closely. Now, that's not the only thing that went on in Meridian. Let's talk about the next event that went on that, let me scroll down here and pull this up. This was reported, and there's a lot of I don't knows involved with this. As we pull up the picture here, there was a car chase yesterday that ended on Lazelia and Briarwood Road. Now, this began on Highway 39 somewhere around Barham Funeral Home. The suspect sped up speeds of 100 miles an hour. The cops couldn't keep up with them, and they turned off Highway 39. Speed slowed down. The Meridian Police Department, when it went through the four-way stop, when it got to Briarwood, terminated the chase because it was entering a school zone.
Right.
They backed off. And if you're familiar with Northeast High School, if you go in front of it and take a right and go toward Cotton Gin Lazelia Road, it's a T there. You have to turn right or left. Well, the suspect apparently didn't realize that and whoosh,
Off into the pasture.
yeah, in the bushes there. They have yet to catch the suspect. Now, again, as I said, it's a little, I'm not quite sure what the original call was. I've been told, rumored wise, that it had something to do with a domestic case of some sort, and there was a gun involved, possibly. Again, let me use the word possibly. And then later, after the chase came in, it was reported that the car was stolen. Yeah.
Goodness.
That's all I can tell you. The fact is, it was reported stolen after the chase had begun.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that. I can't speculate on something that I really don't know the truth to. But they did not find her dogs were brought in, so that would lead you to believe that a phone call was made to someone and the suspect was picked up in the bushes somewhere and eluded authorities.
Right. It's been a lot of stolen vehicles lately.
It has
Don't
been.
leave your keys in your car, you know, at night or any time. I mean, now you can't even run in the house probably and get
It's-
worried is it going to be there when I get back?
Yeah.
You know.
Now, I have to say, somebody posted on my Facebook page, and it made me, and I literally laughed out loud because, you know, the design I used the other night, the Mustang,
Oh,
I
yeah.
ordered the car, and I had the actual Trailblazer that the person was using. They said they should have used the Mustang to get away. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
It was cute, and it was funny. But that was part of what went on yesterday. We're not over. You come upon a wreck yesterday at 494.
I did. I came by after it happened. There were, I think, some fire trucks on the scene. People standing around. It didn't seem to be anybody in the vehicle, but it looked like it had maybe ran off the road, hit a tree or something. It looked like a one vehicle accident, but they were just waving people by. I wasn't going to stop and ask any questions.
From what I understand, it was they ran off the road, one vehicle, as you said, and they hit a stump. And
Okay.
so that messed up the car pretty bad.
Yeah. And it was a small car, too. So, I mean, it was,
Yeah.
you know.
Hope everybody's okay with that.
Yes.
All right, there's nothing worse than working for a living and you stop somewhere and you go back to your vehicle and you realize, okay, my stuff's been stolen. And this next case here is somebody's livelihood. Let me pull up the diagram of what happened yesterday. This happened between 12 and 1. If you were anywhere on North Hill Street and noticed anything yesterday, a gentleman from Sebastopol that has the Yard Barber. It's a lawn care service. They had stopped there. I think his crew had went in to get lunch, come back out, and their lawn care service was gone.
Goodness.
They took all of their stuff, their blowers, their weed eaters. And, you know, that stuff's expensive.
And that's over
On North Hill Street, the old Piggly Wiggly location
Okay.
there. And that
Yeah.
parking
The
lot
empty
was,
building. Okay.
And that's where they were parked.
And you know, that's usually a busy area at lunchtime.
So
You
if
would
you
think somebody would have seen something.
Yeah, so, and that's why I bring this up. If you saw something that looked peculiar, a certain car, something loading a bunch of stuff into the back of it, call MPD or call their business and go, hey, I saw this, and they'll be in touch with MPD. It's bad that you work for a living and somebody wants to take it from you. It's not right.
It's not right.
Okay, that's all the bad stuff that I'm going to tell you about that I know of at the moment. But I bring this all up to make sure that you're safe is why we cover these stories, to where, this happens in this area a lot or here or there. Just be aware of your surroundings as we head into the holidays. Criminals get braver at the holidays. They always do. They want to take what's yours and make it theirs.
I think they don't need a holiday. I think they're pretty brave each and every day.
They are.
Lately, So they'll run up on the wrong person one day.
They will. And some old boy's not going to like you trying to take his weed eater. And it ain't going to be pretty for you. And I use my best English there.
Mm-hmm. It definitely won't be pretty. You might not be stealing anything else.
It just totally shocks me. As we look to national, again, gasoline prices $4.84 and climbing in California again.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's 5 something, I think, where my stepson is. It's
$5. You'd have to really think about, do I need to go there?
I think he's in San Diego.
Have mercy, San Diego.
Yes.
Do you remember the story a few years ago of where the grandmother was trying to text her grandson, and she texted the wrong person, invited them to Thanksgiving, and they came?
No, I did not hear that.
For 6 straight years, that young man has come back to her home, and they're going to be spending their 6th Thanksgiving together with her family there.
Okay.
He didn't have a family. Now he's gotten married and brings his wife there.
Well, that's sweet.
6 years. That's
sweet.
It is
a good story. Yeah, that's a good ending to a story. 'Cause what if you text the wrong person and then that's such a good person and they show up?
Well, I think when that started, it wasn't so bad in their area there, and they became quick friends. And this has been covered on every national news there is. So kudos to them.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
It is. I'm glad for them. Now, one of the texts that you'll notice there on the screen is, hey, deer are moving. Mm-hmm. And if you've met any friends of deer lately and, you need to have that fixed, see our friend Chet at Chet's Paint and Body. They'll help you out there. They take care of all deer damage.
Yes, they do.
Rudolph.
Any kind of damage, garbage cans, anything.
Rudolph will dance on your hood and mess up your bumpers and things of that sort. Mm-hmm. So be careful. It'll mess things up there. They're there to take care of you, whether it's a fender bender, animals. I've even seen cows jump out in front of cars. Mm-hmm. We know what that'll do. Well, Chet's Paint and Body is there to put it back just like it was, really probably better than it was before. Right. Chet's got a great group of guys that work for him, and they promise you quality work. Their word is their bond, and they'll take care of you there. From little accidents here to where you made boo-boos with your door. Well, maybe you ran into somebody by accident. Aluminum beds, got a little too close to one of those yellow concrete posts buying gas.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, and open your door.
Yep, whoops. They're boo-boos, but they'll fix them for you at Chet's. Front end work, it doesn't matter. Here's the paint booth. They even do cars that, classics there. See them. 9888 Highway 494. You'll find them out in Center Hill. See Chet. They'll process all the insurance work for you. Take care of you. 737-2961. A name you trust. A friend that you'll get to know. See Chet's Paint and Body for the most quality work that you can find in town. Right here in the Meridian area there in Center Hill. See them today.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Why do bikers hire us after their accident? Let's ask them.
I was on my way home and a car just rear-ended me. I called Richard Schwartz because I needed help with the medical bills. I feel like his team has done a great job in representing me and taking care of me. Don't hesitate to call Richard Schwartz. That one call, it will make a difference.
One call, that's all.
I keep wanting to ask that woman, you got any tattoos? Because I feel like she does. Do you?
Yeah, she probably does. I don't know.
She's tough. I'm scared of her.
Yeah.
We have a special guest to the studio with us this morning as we head to MCC and we welcome in Lowell Martin. How are you today?
I'm doing well, and yourselves?
Oh, not too bad.
Good.
How have you been this week?
Oh, great.
Great.
It's only Tuesday, but let's go with that.
So let me ask this. I'm sure you've got it on your calendar. When does MCC get out for fall break for Thanksgiving? When is the day that students get out?
We get out this Friday, Friday, November 19th, and we're out all next week.
Fantastic. So I guess you've got plans lined up for family and eating too much also.
Yes, but I'm also teaching an online class, and that doesn't wait for anybody. So I'll still be grading. So lots of that going on.
Do you like doing the online stuff? I mean, as much as like in classroom?
I do. When I first started, I'll be honest with you, I did not feel like I was connecting with students, but it has changed, and
you've adapted, I guess.
And we've adapted, and we're doing a lot of things now that we couldn't in the beginning, and I really do enjoy the teaching online.
Oh, fantastic! Now, what have you got going on that you want to tell us about?
Well, I am the chairperson of the MLK committee at Meridian Community College, and the way I got to be chair of the committee is a story in and of itself. But we have a program every January, and our program this year will be January 13th in McCain Theater, where we celebrate Dr. King. And we have going on at this moment a contest, a celebration through creativity contest for our local high school students and for our MCC students. And the theme this year is "Don't Be Silent About What Is Important," and that is based on Dr. King's quote, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter."
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so this, you can turn in essays, you can do a poem. We're looking for any kind of creativity, a TikTok, a video, spoken word, anything, and we have two prizes, or two sets of prizes, actually.
Well, I like prizes now.
Yes, we do. Yes. 9th through 12th grade, and that includes any dual enrollment students, students who are taking classes at MCC. 9th through 12th grade, that's one group, and then MCC students, that's the other group. And each group has a first, second, and third prize. First prize is $300, second $200, third $100.
That's fantastic.
Yes, originally the due date, or to have submissions was going to be this Friday, November 19th at noon. But there have been some technological snafus.
I know how those happen.
So we have extended that to Wednesday, December 1st. So students now have through Wednesday, December 1st. And as I said, that's from 9th through 12th grade. That includes dual enrollment. That includes homeschooled students can submit. And we also have MCC students can submit. And they submit to me. You can just do it directly through to my email, lmartin@meridiancc.edu. Or you can mail it. We have some people who send in artwork, and that's Lowell Martin at 910 Highway 19 North, Meridian, Mississippi.
That was my next question. Let me ask this. Do you see, in the way things are compared to they were 8-9 years ago, people emailing more instead of handing you hard copies of things? Do you get most of everything now through email, through electronics?
Yes. Very rarely do we get anything. When I first started this many, many years ago, everything was through the mail. We got, at the very end, huge packets. Now, maybe one or two.
It is just so amazing how life changes. And it's happening before our eyes here, the way things happen there.
Yes. And students are on the forefront of that, and they are, they teach me something every semester, sometimes multiple times.
I remember, and I think everybody in this room will know, and there's probably a large portion of people that are watching go, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Who remembers sitting in typing class and having to get that little piece of thing and backspace?
Tape.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it has come a long way for sure.
End notes, we were talking about that in I work in a place called the Success Center where we tutor students.
Right.
And the end notes at the bottom of the page instead of, the footnotes that we used to do. Oh, my goodness. And having to line everything up.
Yeah.
It's so different.
It is so different.
The students, I'm sure they do teach, the adults and stuff more, because my kids, that I won't know how to do something, they'll just pick it up and just like a whiz.
Oh, yes.
I don't. It's crazy how they know how to do all this stuff, and with like Dylan and Madison and.
I'm slowly getting there. And I am one of those. Now, I went ahead with the smartphone, but there's a lot of people that fight that urge to get the smartphone if they would still want the flip phone. I will give this about the flip phone. It is tougher than anything ever made in this world because you can run over them, stomp them.
Really?
You drop one of these and it's $1,000 gone.
Oh yeah, yeah. My son left one on the back of a car one time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like a few days after he got it. That was not a good thing.
Oh, I bet Mama was upset.
I didn't buy it. Daddy bought it, so I'm sure he. But anyway, yeah, technology has really come a long way.
It is,
great, yeah.
and we're doing a lot of stuff with the HiFlex, where you can basically you can come to class or you can tune into class from wherever you are. It's kind of a joining of in person and online, and that's probably where this is going.
Leads to my next question. In the future, and again, I know you don't know the exact answer to this.
Yes, I do.
But like,
Yes, I do. Yeah. Okay.
like in the future, like if you're sick, like right now, if you miss school, you're counted absent. Will it be a point where if you get sick and you're not in person that you can join online and you're still a part of the class even though you're sick and you just stay away from everybody?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
You'll be able to do that. And that's where we are. We are very close to having all of those, having the technology in all of our classrooms. And in fact, that's what we're working on at this point. I think it's supposed to be done by next semester, if I'm not mistaken. And so you'll be able to, there will be no excuse for you to miss class.
Wow. And, as I just said about the flip phone, Angela White just put there that her husband parked on top of his flip phone, left his truck there for 3 days, and it still worked.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't going to do that with no smartphone.
Yeah. Goodness.
Yep.
All right, let me ask this about the essay contest.
Yes.
You have until December 1st to get it in. When will the winners be announced? Do you know an exact, or is that to be determined at this point?
Because I originally wanted to have everything done in December where we could contact the winners and arrange for them to be on our program in January. But because we've extended it through December 1st, we're going to try our best to have everything judged and talk to the winners in December, but it might be the 1st of January. We go back to work January 3rd. And our workshop week is the 3rd through the 7th, so we might have to extend into January to let them know, let the winners know that they won, and to come to the program and to get their check and to show their work.
Now, as I'm throwing things out here, because it's just been so long since I've been to college. If you're watching thinking, hey, I'd love to go take a couple classes at MCC, when is it that you can begin? Is it in January, the new semester, that you can come in, or is it in May?
January, our spring semester starts January 10th. That's when classes begin. And we just opened registration for, if I'm not mistaken, we just opened for new students. We've had registration for students who were currently enrolled in the fall semester, and they can enroll in for spring. And then it just opened for everybody. So you can get up there, and we have semester classes that run all semester for all 16 weeks. We have classes that go for 8 weeks. We have classes, I teach one that goes for 4 weeks.
Wow.
And I'll even be teaching a holiday class through the Christmas break.
Go over again the way that they can submit these things to you, and I'll take that down. Okay,
they can submit to me via my email address or via email, and I'm at lmartin@meridiancc.edu. Or they can mail it in, and our address is 910 Highway 19 North, Meridian, Mississippi, 39301.
Okay.
And please, please, please put my name on it. And also, let me just say, please, please, please put your name on it.
Yeah. Accidents happen, don't they?
It has happened in the past, and I've had wonderful work, and I had no clue who sent it to me.
Right.
So
that would be
we
bad.
have had some one small issue with Google Docs because someone had sent me something and did not give me access to be able to open it. But we got all that figured out and fixed. So just make sure if you're going to send something that we will be able to look at it.
Okay.
Fantastic.
And we're hoping we're going to get a lot of artwork, a lot of videos, music. Anything, we just want you to be as creative as you possibly can be.
Well, we appreciate you coming in this morning and talking with us about all of this. And we
Yes.
want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I
Appreciate
really,
that.
truly hope you have a great one there. And you get a little time to yourself there to enjoy a few days.
Just a bit. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Again,
Yes.
Lowell Martin joining us from Meridian Community College. Thank you so much for dropping by, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray Candace as we travel about on this Tuesday morning. Sad news from Macon, Mississippi. I don't know if you're aware of this. Someone a hit and run happened in Macon, Mississippi. They have made an arrest in this. It was an 18-wheeler that hit the gentleman. James Melton Jernigan has been charged in this. Now, again, that doesn't mean that he's guilty, but he has been charged as they dig into this. Horrible, horrible. He was found. The gentleman was found deceased on the side of the road. That's sad.
That is awful. You hear this so much, and like people don't have the decency to even stop sometimes.
Yeah, that
when
is-
something like that happens. It's just awful.
How could you not have? Right, the next headline across the state of Mississippi, and let me bring this up. I'm going to call this guy a dirty dog, a no good for nothing person. Mississippi is going to execute tomorrow the first person since 2012. His name is David Cox. What is he accused of? He's been found guilty in court now. Don't think that that I'm making these charges up.
Right.
He is charged with the murder of his wife. Now, what did he do? Let's describe the scene before you go, oh, this guy, he deserves more and more. This guy shot his ex-wife or wife, whatever she was at the time, in the stomach. She was dying. He raped her daughter in front of her while she died. Now, think about what I just said. As she was dying, he raped her daughter in front of her. There's
awful.
absolutely nothing that this man deserves.
Yeah.
He is headed to the gallows tomorrow night. I call it gallows. That's not what they do anymore in the state of Mississippi. But
So how long has he been in jail? I wonder.
I want to say, and this is estimation, that it was back in 2007.
See, that's what really, I hate that people who do things this horrible, I mean, they've sit in jail this long. Tax money has fed them and, housed them for this many years when.
Okay, the exact date here it is. He actually killed her in 10, so it is 11 years. I was a little off. He done something in 2007. I glanced at it wrong. But that is what is going to the, they do lethal injection now. And I'm not sold on that. People complain about that. The people that they hurt weren't given a choice, were they?
Well, that's my thing, is like people complain about people being put to death. I mean, what do you expect to happen to these? I mean, you think that they're supposed to just be able to live, even if they're in jail, they're still not,
Yeah. And I say this on
Really
people
big.
that are without a shadow of a doubt guilty. And this is one of those
Right,
cases, not
right.
people to where it was hearsay.
Yeah,
This is
because there
100
are innocent people in jail, but when you know, like you said, beyond a shadow of a doubt that this happened and it was that brutal.
And I think most Americans would say, why does it take 11 years?
Yeah.
And that's sometimes small compared to the big number. There's people that sit in there 25 years that
Yeah.
hurt people. And then by then, everybody's forgotten about what happened. Let's be soft on them.
Yeah, this is what I don't understand. Oh, they've been in jail. I think they've done their time.
Yeah, Angie just put there, she goes, if he were out, he'd probably do it again.
Yeah.
And we see that. We saw that with COVID cases. You remember when they were turning people out nationwide, letting them free? What did they do? They went and raped and killed other people.
Yeah.
Somebody I think will have to answer for that one day as well.
Well, I think it was horrible. I mean, I don't know, people just don't take things to me serious enough. I mean, just like the people who come through the border,
Right.
One guy claimed that he was a lot younger than he was, and this family took him in, and then he ended up killing the father. Horrible.
So Mississippi stepping up to the plate tomorrow night. That I did not realize it had been since 2012. They don't do
Yeah.
it that way in Texas. They do it quite often out there. Huntsville, Texas is where a lot of that takes place there.
Goodness.
Good morning to Wayne Roberts. We do appreciate you watching there on the way to Jackson to the VA hospital. Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
good
that.
morning. Yeah, Wayne and Dolores Roberts. And Milton Sable, good morning to you. Betsy Holly, good morning from Sugarlock. And Peggy Simmons, she's in Cooksville. She says, have a great day.
Yeah. Glad you're there. Let's see here. Good morning to Cheryl Clark as well, watching today. Coming up, we'll tell you about one of the most talked about cases that is in court right now. You know who I'm talking about, Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next here with Scotty Ray and Candace.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville are passing along these savings this week. Idaho potatoes, 8-pound bag, only $3.99. Red, orange, yellow bell peppers, 2 for $3. Starkist tuna, 79 cents. A 4-pound bag of Dixie Crystal Sugar, only $1.99. Certified Angus beef chuck roast, $5.69 a pound. Our twin-pack Boston butt, $1.49 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace, and I'll ask you your personal opinion before this is announced. The Kyle Rittenhouse. What do you think the jury is going to do? Guilty or not guilty?
I don't know. I mean, I think you're not supposed to go by, you're not supposed to be swayed by anything,
that's in the media.
Like your beliefs or anything like that. But I just don't know.
I base mine by watching what I saw on video.
Right. I mean, if they do the right thing, I think, and a lot of people might not agree with this, but I think he was acting in self-defense. I mean, when
too.
they come up and knocked him in the head, one kicked him, knocked him over, and then the other guy comes up and hits him in the head with a skateboard. Don't you think that is...
Had he not done what he did,
force against somebody to where they could defend themselves?
Now, do you think he would be here if he hadn't have took the actions?
No, I don't think
he would have been.
I think they'd have killed him probably.
I do too. It's a mess. I think he will be found not guilty. Do I think that bad things are coming to that town? That 500 National Guard is not enough. They've got plenty of time to where they need to be on standby and take care of this before the verdict is read, because we know there's going to be protest and things are going to happen. So
I think either way, there's going to be some issues go on.
What you don't know is if you're a juror, and there are times that people truly have not read the news and don't know anything about national cases, because, they go through that of weeding people out. Do you know about this? But the star witness of the prosecution had all charges dropped. Not a good person.
Yeah.
I mean, a rap sheet 10 miles wrong, and they cannot tell the jury about that. It's not submitted. It can't be. They have to think that he's an upstanding citizen and that he's never done anything.
Right.
Can't be submitted. But today, beginning at 9 a.m., supposedly, deliberations will start. So we could have an answer. It may be quick. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 days. You never know.
You know what kills me is that the prosecution, the guy who was representing the prosecution, he was saying that he had other options. He could have ran away. He could have took a different route, ran a different direction. He could have, like I said yesterday, the judge, Joe Brown, says that, even if he had a gun and the other guys didn't have guns, them coming after him.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a threat to him. And in that state, he has a right to defend himself. And so, and then they'll say, the prosecution said, so they might have set a building on fire. Might have set a dumpster on fire. They might have yelled some profanities at him. Maybe they even came after him. He didn't have to shoot him.
No.
He didn't but they act like they're saints, like they've not done that much wrong, at all. And,
it was chaos.
You're a criminal if you set a building on fire. I'm sorry, you are.
Now, and let's be truthful. Do I think if he was my son, I'd have let him be out there? No, I absolutely would not have let him gone there.
Yeah.
But his beliefs, he had the right to be there to protect and help others, and he was there for that reason. I just wouldn't have wanted my child putting himself in harm's way, and maybe I'm at fault for thinking that way, of not standing up and stopping things. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want my child involved in that either. But it's like somebody said, when you have a town, I mean, that they're burning it to the ground.
Oh,
nobody's really stepping up and doing anything. I mean,
you feel like you should do something,
right? There's people who feel like they need to step up and help, and I think it's going to come down to that. in a lot of areas in our country.
I think with the name for those people, they're called Americans.
Yeah, Americans.
There you go.
Well, I mean, that's just what, I mean, it's the crime is getting so rampant, not just here, everywhere. And it's like we've said, you know, people are going to start, and I'm not condoning it, but at the same time, I do understand that people are frustrated and they're going to take matters in their own hands at some point.
Draw the line in the sand, so to speak, there.
But if somebody's coming after someone and they have guns, I mean, I would expect people are going to defend themselves. But.
So that's the big story that is going on today, and we'll watch that closely and let you know what becomes of that. And there's not much that went on today in what I call the segment of Today in History. It's very few things that happened. But in 1960, a young lady walks into a recording studio. Mm-hmm. She would record a song that would last and last and last, and it's still going. One of your favorites there, "I Fall to Pieces," was recorded upon this date. Patsy Cline.
I love that song.
Yeah,
I love all of her music, though. She's
a lot of people do. Yeah. Also, that same year, we would lose one of the most iconic actors that ever walked through Hollywood that would be remembered forever. And this guy, I don't think, is going anywhere anytime soon, even with the next generation. Mm-hmm. Clark Gable passed away on this date back in 1960 at the age of 59.
59, that's so young.
I thought Clark was older when he passed away, but he wasn't. But boy, he made a name for himself.
He did.
And to be a Yankee, he sure pulled off a Southern accent. Mm-hmm. Born in Ohio there. Did you watch the Cosby Show?
I did. I used to watch it all the time.
I've seen a lot of the reruns. I don't know that I watched it a lot when it was on because I had to go to bed to be on the radio. Mm-hmm. But I've watched a lot of reruns since then. And you remember this girl, Lisa Bonet?
Bonet, yeah. Bonet.
That's not Bonnet?
It looks like Bonnet. It really, and if you didn't know, you'd say Bonnet, but it's Bonet. It's like sounds French or something.
We're getting into what side of the railroad tracks you live on in the South, whether you're a Kynard or a Canard.
Look, if I looked at it and I did not know because I didn't grow up listening to her name being, said, I would have said the same thing. So, but yeah, they pronounce it Bonet.
It's the same thing as Kynard and Canard.
Yeah, did she not? Who did she marry?
No clue.
Was it Lenny Kravitz?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I thought she did. I don't know.
And I only know that his mama was on the Jeffersons. It's the only reason I know. Because I love that show.
Yeah. But I used to watch the Cosby Show. It was such a disappointment when, all that mess went down with Bill Cosby.
And he'd been doing it for years. He was doing it then.
Goodness.
Lord have mercy.
That's a bad disappointment, yeah.
2001, this hit movie theaters, the very first one, and it was a huge hit. Mm-hmm. Harry Potter debuted on this date.
Yes.
And I have to admit, I have never watched any of those.
I didn't either. I did not get into the Harry Potter stuff. Now, my kids liked it. They liked it. But I knew there was some controversy over
there was some folks going, okay, this is against the Bible, and
right.
I have not watched the show, so I cannot cast judgment upon that show.
Yeah, I just remember it being some controversy about it. So,
have mercy. Let's see. I was looking at someone that said that they had lost a loved one to someone who was in jail, and our condolences to you on that. So we're thinking of you there. And Maureen said it's Bonnet. She's taking the Scotty Ray side. Okay. Anyway, I may have misspelled it too. Mona said.
I don't know.
I could have put it.
Lisa.
We'll call her old Lisa there off the Cosby Show there. Let's see. A Texas Democrat has decided to change parties. Whoa. Believe that or not. So Ryan Gulian, if I'm pronouncing his name right, has switched to the Republican Party. Now, again, remember there are Republicans also that are actually Democrats. So don't get too excited, but it could help the cause. He says
you do kind of wonder sometimes why people, have views they have in the party that they're in.
This gentleman, and again, I don't know the case by case, but he has probably looked around him and realized that everybody in his district is voting a different direction than what his party represents. And he goes, oh, I'd like to stay around, so let me switch over here. That is most likely what happened there. But Texas been a big change. And again, as we talk about the different parties in America, you have independents, you have Republicans, you have Democrats. Each one of those parties, let me remind you, they're not filled just because they're a Republican or Democrat doesn't mean they're a great person.
Yeah.
They don't always do the right thing. They get on television and they say one thing and then they go behind closed doors and they shake hands with the other side so that they can all get what they want. Yeah. Don't think that doesn't happen. Sometimes they forget where they come from and what the voters put them in for.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents on
I
that.
just wish that people would do the right thing and not worry about party lines. You know?
There is so many Mr. Smiths. And if you've, and let me put you on the spot, Candace. Right. Have you ever watched Mr. Smith Goes to Washington?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I have not.
Y'all, somebody help me out here. Somebody raise a hand. And what that is, it's my favorite actor that ever breathed a breath, Jimmy Stewart. Mm-hmm. And he's a small town guy that gets elected to go to be in Congress. He knows absolutely nothing about what goes on in Washington, and he gets there, and the guy that he looked up to all those years is a crook, and he goes against the grain. And so they decide to destroy him, and they start running these bad articles against him, and he fights them. And in the end, the good guy wins. But as we all know, in the real world, the good guy doesn't always win. But if you have never watched Mr. Smith Goes to Washington...
It sounds like it would be a good...
Folks, I tell you, put that at the top of your list to watch. It is truly, it makes you feel American pride by watching that.
Yeah.
The little man who does the right thing wins. And we all hope that he does in the end, but so many times he doesn't. That's the bad news that I hate to break to everybody.
That's right. I mean, people, they're not always good, you know. But I think people who are trying to do the right thing, and even if people are trying to put them down and make them look bad, they still stand strong to their roots and stand their ground. And I think more people need to do that. Don't
think for one moment that the American spirit is gone, because it's not. There's good people in this world. They're Americans. They're out there. And they will do the right thing when they're called upon. It's just that, the bad folks sometimes speak louder than the good guys.
I think the parties have changed so much on both sides. I think that they've changed, and not for the better. You know. Yeah. My grandfather was a Democrat years ago, and he would have probably just, been stunned at the way some of the things are being done today. You know, he would not have been proud, for sure.
Bill Reinhardt's with me. He thinks it was a great movie there. Mm-hmm. He says if it's not careful.
I have to watch it sometime.
The Filibuster. Yeah. He talked and talked, didn't he? Done a great job on that. Let's talk about our friends when it comes time. Well, you got to do this at some point. It'll probably happen today, and you need some gasoline. Maple's one-stop shop. They're clean, convenient, and they're local right here in the Meridian area, and they invite you into any of their stores. Drop in, drop your name in the hat for the fuel card that's going to be given away coming up on Friday. They'll give away another $50 fuel card. Put your name in it. When you buy your gas, put it on the back of your receipt, drop it in there, and it may be you, if I can say that correctly.
$50.
$50, yeah. Yes. Also, if you're into the cold coffee, they've got the caramel, French vanilla, mocha, all of that there at the Broadmoor Chevron station. And for us who get really into the hot coffee and, think it keeps us awake, they got that.
That would be me.
Your 6th cup of coffee is free when you join your loyalty coffee program. Just get it punched, your card, every time you go in. Pretty easy to do there. Cold drinks, anything. If you're looking for a moon pie, they got one. And an RC Cola.
All right.
They take care of you. If you're looking for lunch, a quick piece of pizza, some chips and a drink, all for $4.99. If you're going fishing, see them at the bait shop. And as always, they've got lotto tickets for you and ice cream. 4 locations, Bonita Chevron, also the Pine Springs store there on State Boulevard, or 493 Last Chance Tobacco, and Broadmoor Chevron. See them today. They'll take care of you. It's our friends at Maple's One Stop Shop.
Remember, one call, that's all. I'm Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray Candace on this Tuesday morning. And you want to remind everybody.
Yes, voting next Tuesday.
14 precincts into Meridian. We'll be talking to Donna Jill again all about that to remind you of where you can vote. We'll put it up again also. Yeah. Your vote does count. Mm-hmm. Make sure to do that.
That's right. And like Scotty Ray said, there's 14 precincts. Not everybody votes throughout.
Correct.
But those 14 precincts, I think we'll probably put them up again.
Yeah.
So you know, and you can look on your voter registration card to tell you where you're supposed to go vote. You'll know.
I've posted a whole bunch of stuff on Facebook, so I'll scroll back and find that, and we'll re-put that up there. Somebody mentioned Chris Mcdaniel. Would he run for governor? I think Chris would would be a great candidate for
I
it.
do too. I've listened to him many, many times, and I think he makes a whole lot of sense, and I think he would be a fair.
He's one of those
governor.
no bones type guy.
Right.
Tells it how it is. Relates to a lot of Mississippians, and that's why other politicians, well, they don't like him.
Yeah.
Because he tells it like you think, and they want to keep the good old boy system as it is in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah.
Not an endorsement, just telling you how things really are out there. Some outrage this morning as we look at that network, MSNBC. One of the hosts, Stephanie, am I pronouncing it Rule? Is that correct?
I think so.
Folks are mad at her. She said that all these, when's the last time you bought a piece of steak, meat's gone up, and your gas prices have gone up? She says that Americans can afford to pay more because, how does it say it? Has more cost of living expenses. They have more money now, so they can afford to spend more.
You know, I love it when these people who sit up in Washington or wherever they are, who probably have a driver everywhere they go.
And how much does a MSNBC host make a year? Millions?
I don't know. A lot more than we do.
And you've
a lot
got
more than just the normal, everyday people.
that guy making $14 or $12 an hour can't afford what she can, and that piece of meat or that gas tank that costs $5 more this week affects his household budget.
Like I said, I mean, they're not dealing with the same situations that most of the American people are dealing with.
That's right.
And so it's real easy to say, oh, you can afford it.
One of the most talked about shows amongst normal people, and I'm going to use the word amongst, I love using that word there, is the show Yellowstone. It has a no-nonsense, this is the way it is, and we take matters in our own hand.
Yeah.
Most of the media ignore the show, just how successful that it is. And if you'll catch this with that TV show, you'll notice they're not using well-known Nashville artists for their music. It's not your people that have recording contracts that sing about drinking beer and naked women on a tailgate that they normally sing about. They're using these low-label artists, and they're selling big time after
Some
being
good
on that
music.
television
It's
show.
some really good music too.
Yeah, it is. So that is, Nashville doesn't like it. And just to compare you this, used to the CMA show had anywhere from 12 to 14 million viewers. Not anymore. The latest show they had that same week was around 6 million people. It's somewhere 12 to 15 million people watched Yellowstone last week. Far greater than the Country Music Awards. What does that tell you about music? Well, they've really missed the boat again in Nashville, and they don't know what the average Joe in America really wants to hear. They're pushing what they want to, their agenda.
Right.
But, the show is doing well. Now, I did see a comment, and I don't want anybody to get mad at me about what I'm fixing to say here. Is there strong language in that show? It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And someone threw this up, and I heard the comment. I was sitting there, and I thought, well, that makes a whole lot of sense. They said, how can you watch that show and be a Christian and it have bad language and all of this stuff going on? And the person sitting next to me goes, you think they ever opened up the Bible and read what's in it? There's adultery, there's killing, there's murder, all in the Bible. People have been doing it since time. Something to think about there.
Yeah.
And I am a Christian, don't get me wrong.
It is some bad language.
It is.
I mean, I really do think
They could drop
it. Could be
They
just
could.
as good.
It would be.
Without it,
But I don't think I don't think you're going to be condemned because you saw an episode of it. And that's what the person put up there that had put that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not here to make anybody mad in any of that situation there. But, this stuff's been going on since time, and they put it out there for you to see what the real world's about.
What really gets me is that it's on like basic television.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
It's like we were watching, an episode.
It's not on your HBO.
Right. It's not like it's a network that even kids couldn't walk in the room and watch. It's just on everyday TV.
And again, I agree. It is strong language, and it ought to be taken out. The show would be, as you just said, would be absolutely just as good.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do it.
I mean, look at Dallas and all those shows that were a hit. I mean, they did have content in there, like adultery going on and all kind of stuff like that. But I don't know. But you have the choice. You can watch it or you don't have to watch it. But it is a good storyline, and it is popular. So,
All
each his own. So.
Terry just asked me about was Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I want to say that was in the the 40s, I think, is when that movie was made. I think somewhere real close to when It's a Wonderful Life was made, right before it, right around that era. I'd have to Google it to find out. But and Angie said, have you seen commercials lately?
Yeah. Right. Well,
they do bad things also.
Yeah. Somebody made the comment, I mean, really, you can hear that kind of language anywhere, Yeah. I get offended when I'm standing there with my child. And many times I've said something, and many times I wanted to and just didn't, but I just walk away with it. But with my child standing there, people are just so
like you're in line at a store or something.
Yeah,
somebody
just
says,
throw out all these, words right in front of my kid, and I'm like, have you not? I don't know.
I know where you're going with that.
That's in public, though. I mean, everybody's. I don't know. Just thought I'd mention that.
Well, there you go. Nothing wrong with pointing out the obvious there. As we turn to our friends at Snowden and Associates, and I'll tell you what they've got. If you're getting ready to sell your home or purchase a home, see them before you do so. They've got so much to choose from. Now, you can go online and take a look at what they've got and go through all the homes, each one that they've got, and they can connect you with so many houses from Meridian, Mississippi, from Quitman to Scuba, Philadelphia, all the way to Jackson. Doesn't matter where you're at, they can take care of you there. Find the dream home that you've been looking for. 453-3937 is the telephone number. And if you're selling, don't cut yourself short. Don't throw up a for sale by owner and not get what your house is worth. Let the professionals come in. Look at it. Let them do the comparisons of all the homes in the area of what they've sold for, so you'll know what to put on your home. Yeah. That's as simple as what it is, and they do it very well. They're professionals. They know it. A few homes they've got there. As we look at all these different counties, as I mentioned, Forest, Brandon, they're there now also, including all of our local counties right here, Kemper, Newton, Clark, Lauderdale, those areas there. See them today, 453-3937, SnowdenRealEstate.com. They're open through 5 today, by appointment only on the weekend on Saturday, but they'll be closed on Sunday. So check them out, Snowden & Company. The many folks that have sold their home were there. That's Amanda. She'll be glad to help you out with any questions that you have when it comes to either selling your home or buying a home. See the professionals today.
Don't hesitate. Call me. I am Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
Okay, I was a year or two off. 1939 was the year that Mr. Smith Goes to Washington was released. Okay. Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But boy, what a movie that was.
Look that up and watch it sometime.
I liked it. I'm not sure if we brought this up yesterday. Did I bring up the TikTok thing?
I don't think we did, no.
All right, there was a news story a few weeks back that talked about a little girl that was abducted, kidnapped. She's going down the highway and she done some type of hand...
Yeah, they said that she did this and then went like this, and supposedly that means that she was in danger or somebody
had help.
Captured. Yeah, and then she needed help.
It went all over social media that saved her life, that's what it done. Well, it turns out after they actually talked to the lady that called the police that's not so, that she saw the little girl go, "Help me." And that's why she called police. Although the other sounds great, and it makes you want to use your hand signals, that's not really what went down. Yeah. It was the good old-fashioned speaking to someone that saved that little girl's life.
Not to say that if you see somebody do this and this, not to help them, because a lot of people think now that is the symbol for help because of that. So, and maybe it is. I don't know. I had never heard that up until then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. But thank goodness that somebody was able to get her and help her. That's scary. So scary.
Tajetta said that it shows, in her opinion, when people use those ugly, ugly, ugly words, it shows ignorance in the human. Well, just you ain't real smart, is what she said. And it's used a lot. We all know that.
Yes.
It's out there. So, and I appreciate you putting your comments there, Tajetta. I appreciate that a lot. Let's see here some other headlines. We still got a few minutes here left if I'm just staring at the clock just right. You remember the skirt-wearing boy?
Yes.
That done the bad things to the little girl, and the dad was handcuffed and taken out.
Right.
And probably caused a new election in the state of Virginia. That same little guy that done that has admitted now in court that he also groped another young lady while he was in the bathroom in another school. Let that sink in.
After then.
It already happened.
Okay.
But it's just in court. He's admitted to it. So it didn't happen after the fact. He had already done that. But it just shows the depth of what's going on across our nation.
He needs some help.
Where was it that you and I saw where they've had things have gotten so bad at a school? I can't remember the state that they've taken the doors to the bathrooms off so the kids will be safe in case somebody screams.
Yeah, I don't know what state that is either, but that's sad though. I mean, that you have no privacy because of people who do things like that. That's awful.
Get mad at me or not, it's not good for school children to share bathrooms. There's a difference. Men and women.
Right.
Just food for thought there. That's what's going on there. I had another story that I wanted to bring up that was along those same lines. Here it is as we go here to New Hampshire. A child was on a school bus, and he made the comment that there were only two genders, male and female. Mm-hmm. He was suspended from school for that statement. Let that sink in.
That's crazy.
New Hampshire. He was on the football bus.
Yeah.
And said there's men and there's women.
That's right.
Suspended.
You are what God made you. That's the way I feel about it. But
wow.
Look, this is a different little subject, but yesterday I saw this little meme, and it said, if you can, in a world where you can pretend that a man is a woman and a woman is a man, you can pretend I got the vaccine.
Yeah, that's kind of cute.
I thought, it's kind of funny.
Well, let's go pretend today.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pat and Jim Coker are watching us from Hickory. We appreciate that. Lily Hampton, how are you today?
Yes. Bill Reinhardt, good morning to you. He said it's Tonkin Tuesday.
That's right. He'll be singing
on Facebook. Pat and Jim Coker, good morning from Hickory, Mississippi.
Another big headline, and you'll know this name when I say it, Alex Jones. He's a conspiracy theory, right wing, and I've seen him on a lot of his videos rip his shirt off, pull his chest hair, and stomp up and down. Yeah. Sells a bunch of products on his webpage. And he claimed that the Sandy Hook was a hoax, that those children were actors and that no one really got killed. He has been found guilty for defamation in a court of law now by those parents. It is most likely the ruin of Alex Jones, and they will take every last penny that he has.
Yeah.
I thought he'd get out of it, but
yeah, I thought maybe he would too. I don't understand all the details to that, but supposedly he thought that they were actors.
Yeah,
they had been seen in other videos, is what he said, I think, or what I think.
That's what he claimed. Yeah, and that's what he was putting on his show.
What he claimed, yeah. But anyway, yeah, he's going to be liable for all of that, and no telling what they'll set the amount at. He might not have much left.
I think it's the ruin of him, of financial. They have taken him down there. Let's see here. A bad story with a good ending. A plane is crashing. It's I think a family of 4 on it, and this was in Michigan. As the plane goes down, the father took the 11-year-old girl and done a bear hug on her. The plane crashes, and everybody in the family is killed except the 11-year-old. Thanks to her father, he saved her life as the plane went down. He's hailed as a hero, and she walks away alive. Sad that happened.
It's sad, but
I cannot imagine what your thoughts are in an airplane when that is going down.
I can't either. I've thought about that many times. People who are, it's just like when 9/11 happened. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
The people, what they went through, and those
and we saw them falling out of the building, their choices of what they made.
Just horrible.
One for the Gipper, I guess you could call this, the good guy. Have y'all kept up with what happened in Liverpool, the person that was going to blow up a building? A taxi driver walks by, notices there's a bomb in a car. He locks the guy in the car, the guy that was going to do that and walk away, locks him in the car. He went up in smoke with what he was fixing to do. So the bad guy got his due, so to speak. That was in Liverpool. All across the UK, the terror alert is up.
Yeah.
And again, always watch the United States. They don't like us any more than they like the UK.
Who knows how many we've got in here now that
have come across,
do harm. Oh, yeah. There's no telling.
Let's see, the White House trying to act like they like one another after the news report came out yesterday that Kamala and Joe were not getting along. They done a touch and hug yesterday in front of the cameras.
Yeah.
No word yet on what really went on behind the scenes.
I had heard this morning, I think, where somebody was saying about Kamala, will she run for president the next go round? I'm just going to go out on a limb and say don't waste your money.
Yeah, I don't think she'd win. I really don't.
I don't either. I don't know how in the world that she could possibly even be considered, but
Never know with these things. We want to say thank y'all for joining us this morning. It's been a blast. This hour has traveled and it's been very fast, and we're coming back tomorrow.
We are 8 a.m. bright and early. Yeah.
We'll see you then. Thank you so much for visiting with us this morning. Right now, as it warms over towards 73.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by